real quick, sorry, Gab, to cut you off. I know we like kind of we might have just mentioned it, but like the Cubs also like on top of getting Alex Bregman last week, you guys bolstered your rotation getting Edward Cabrera from the Marlins. Like I think like I try to be unbiased as possible. Being a Reds fan, I don't love the Cubs, but I love both of those moves. I know when you trade for a guy, you got to give stuff up. I know you guys might be a little salty about like losing a guy like Owen Casey, but like, man, to me, the Cubs went like I try to view them from like just an unbiased lens. It was like, man, I just feel like they're another piece away on the rotation from like being, hey, these guys could probably win a World Series. Like, and then you guys got Edward Cabrera, and it's like, all right, there it is. And then like to make matters even better for you guys get Alex Bregman. So I don't know if you guys want to touch on Edward Cabrera, but like I feel like we just kind of breeze past it because obviously it gets overshadowed by Bregman and the Bears winning. But I really like those moves for the Cubs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Edward Cabrera. I think he's really good, but like, I mean, everyone's just playing to be the Dodgers. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm glad we're making moves, but it's just so tough with like what the Dodgers have done. But I just hope that they keep Nico Horner. Like we were talking about, like Ricketts probably not wanting to go over that luxury tax or whatever the threshold is. It seems like he actually might, just from what I've like been reading up on. It seems like they might not move him, but like if you're trying to win right now, you can't move him. You know, like, and you probably need more. We probably need to continue to add to the bullpen. Like, we're not a World Series contender yet, but we're going in the right direction.
I'm a fan of the Edward Cabrera. Getting him, it's gonna be tough not having Owen Casey. That was kind of a bat that I was hoping for the future for the Cubs, but no, you gotta give up something to get something. So that's what the Cubs have been lacking for the past few years. Was a high, big velocity arm. Cade Horton has some velocity as well, but I saw that Edward Cabrera's changeup like average is like the same as Justin Steele and Shota Imanaga's fastball average. So
yeah, I think he averages 93 or 94 on a changeup, which is just unfair.
That's harder. That's actually harder than Justin Steele. Like we have Kyle Hendricks in the past who was pumping 88. Like we haven't had this type of arm in the rotation for a while. So as long as he stays healthy, he's gonna be a big time.
Definitely harder than Imanaga. He throws like 87.
Especially late in the season. No, I think you hit on it there, Dane. Like, I didn't realize the injury issues that he's had in the past. So, like, to me, that's the biggest thing is, can this guy stay healthy? It's been every single season he's had something come up, and it's been from a shoulder to an elbow, which, you know, it probably because he throws so dang hard. Like, human bodies aren't supposed to move that fast. So, yeah, keeping him healthy and hopefully given the amount of starters we have, like, we can map it out to where he's, you know, not being overused and make sure he's good for the season. But that to me will be a huge part of that trade is can he be healthy and throw quality innings for the Cubs throughout the years? But I am so pumped about the Bregman signing. I think he brings a ton to the club. Like, he's a winner. He solidifies your third base spot. He's a guy that you can pencil into the middle of your order every single game. Like, I've heard people rave about him in the clubhouse and kind of being that veteran presence with just like his hitting philosophy. I know he's had like some connections to some Chicago people in the past. Whether it was like Papirski at Lamont, who played at LSU at the same time as him. So I'm super, super excited to get him up there on the north side. I think it does allow you then to make moves and just kind of it puts you in a really good position. Your left side of the infield is going to be really, really good defensively. They're going to be good clubhouse guys. And then, to me, like, you keep Nico Horner there, you've got three guys for the next, 2 to 5 years that really stabilize your infield. And I mean, I love Michael Busch over at first base as well. So I really like what they're doing, and I want it to continue. I hope it's not one of these things where maybe Tyler, you mentioned it, like, hey, we're getting close to the luxury tax now and we need to make moves to like free some things up. It's like, no, now's the time to like continue to push the envelope. I love that they spent some money. Because that was my kind of thing with like the Kyle Tucker trade. It was like, all right, you're trading away some young, high-end third base prospect for a guy for 1 year. So like getting Cabrera under team control for a couple years, I loved, and then actually spending money on Bregman, fired me up.
The left side of the infield for the Cubs is now the top 2 picks from the 2015 draft, which is pretty cool. So, nice little nugget there. And also, I think Bregman has tried to wear number 2 throughout his career because he was number 2 pick, and that's Nico's number. So that's something to keep an eye on. So just saying.
Interesting. Bregman's gonna have to shell out some of that stuff, of that contract, get Nico to change his number.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that's great.
Tyler, one thing I wanted to ask you was, at the game when that trade happened, I think it was around halftime, is what we were saying. Did that like kind of start getting brought up around the stadium at all? Like, did you hear any rumblings of it?
No. I just remember saying something to my father-in-law, like, "Oh my God, like Cubs," because I have my tweet notifications on for Jeff Passan, and like no free ads, but like this time of year, like if you're a baseball fan, that's definitely the guy to be following. And I see the tweet, and I'm like, oh my God, because for the longest time, I just kind of felt like he was somehow gonna end up back with the Red Sox, and he didn't. But long story short, no. But like my father-in-law was pumped. He's a Cubs guy, so no. But incredible. I mean, like I said, I hate it as a Reds fan, but for you guys, like, got to be pumped.
Well, and how about the Red Sox? Like, they take Bregman in, they ruin their relationship with Devers. Now they don't have Bregman. It's like that didn't go too well for them.
Yeah, I would not want to be a Red Sox fan right now. That's for sure, because it doesn't look good over there. I mean, they got their pitchforks out for that GM.
They're the Boston Cardinals right now. They got 3 trades for the Cardinals guys already, or 2 or 3. But Breslow came from the Cubs front office, so I mean, I don't know. Don't know if that's on purpose or not. So.
Well, and apparently they offered Bregman basically what the Cubs did, just slightly less.
And shout out to the Cubs for being the highest bidder. I mean, we've talked on it before, and we don't need to go too much longer on this, but like, man, you're the Cubs. You should be spending money. Like, Ricketts, go over the luxury tax one time. Like, it's not going to kill you. I promise. Like that. And I've told you guys, like, one thing I've always admired is like Wrigley Field is always packed. You guys could be the best team in the league. You guys could be the worst team in the league. That place is always packed. And everything costs expensive at that stadium. So there's no reason you can't go over the luxury tax if you're Ricketts. So, I don't know. It's nice to see them spending money as just like a fan of baseball. Like, I think the sport, as much as it pains me to say, like, I think the sport of Major League Baseball is in a really great spot when the Cubs are good. So, I like seeing it from that aspect.
I don't think anybody's saying like, hey, go spend money like the Dodgers. It's not that, but it's like, hey, spend at least like something to give us hope that you're, understand the market that you are.
Exactly. Relative to your market size, like there's no reason for you to be penny pinching. You're the Chicago Cubs.
So, and I love it. They got a lot of young guys with, Steele and Horton, but then you do have to pay some, like, that's what they did back in 2016. And before that, when they actually made moves like bolstering with John Lester and all those guys. So, no, it's good to see. And Chicago sports right now are trending up, which I think back when we started the podcast, I remember saying how Chicago sports was in a really, really hard spot when we started the bullpen. And, you look at the Blackhawks and, they didn't have Connor Bedard for a while. And they kind of, scuffled there a little bit in early mid-December, but they're back playing good. And the Bulls, I wish I followed them more closely, but no, I love what's going on with the Bears, the Cubs. I think the White Sox will be, maybe might take a few more years, but they got a lot of good prospects to be excited about. They got Colson Montgomery. They've got some things here that should be pointing up as well.
No Schultz too.
Yep, exactly. Sam Antonacci having a huge Double-A season, and he'll be knocking on the door. But Riley Gowans, a Libertyville guy, had a really good year. I don't know what his big league, prospects look like, but he was always a super hard thrower out of high school. He was like up to 94 out of high school and went to Illinois, and really, really like what he brings to the table as well.